I'm here today with Pablo Sanchez on Medical News Weekly to talk about Parkinson's disease. Hi Pablo Sanchez, could you explain to me what is Parkinson's disease?
Parkinson's disease is chronic movement disorder caused by malfunction and death of substantia nigra neurons in the brain.
Wow, that's incredible. So what exactly is the role of substantia nigra neurons?
The role of these neurons is dopamine production. Dopamine is responsible for controlling movement and coordination. Essentially, as Parkinson's develops, the amount of dopamine produced by the brain decreases, making motor control more difficult. Unfortunately, there is no cure.
Wow, so you could say that dopamine controls a lot of the motor functions that we have in our bodies.
That is correct.
Wow, that's incredible. So what are some symptoms of Parkinson's disease?
Well, there are three main symptoms associated with Parkinson's disease. Tremors are frequent, usually beginning in the hands and the feet, though these gradually spread to the rest of the body. Bradykinesia is common as well, which simply is slowness of movement. It also results in posture instability. Those with Parkinson's disease often have difficulty standing, sit still, and upright, and struggle walking in straight lines due to the impairment of their balance and coordination.
Wow, that's incredible. So then, what are some treatments used to address some of these difficulties caused by Parkinson's disease?
Well, there's been a drug used for many years. It's called levodopa. This drug is used also in combination with carbidopa. Levodopa is converted into dopamine in the brain.
Wow. So then, could you tell me a little bit more about the treatment?
Well, essentially, carbidopa prevents levodopa from being directly converted into dopamine, allowing more of it to reach the brain. A duopa treatment is also used, which is just the carbidopa-levodopa combination inserted into the stomach.
Wow, that would be painful. So then, are there any other treatments that are being used for Parkinson's disease?
Yes, there is also a method known as deep brain stimulation.
Wow.
In this, electrodes are surgically implanted into the brain. Following a second procedure occurs in which an impulse generator is inserted. It's actually a lot like a pacemaker. This provides an electrical impulse stimulating the part of the brain responsible for motor function.
Wow, that's incredible. So then, who would you say initially championed the use of levodopa as a treatment of Parkinson's disease?
I would have to say it was probably Ole Onikovich that championed this.
How would you say that he contributed to our current understanding and treatment of Parkinson's disease?
I would have to say that Ole Onikovich began researching the effect of dopamine on blood pressure. He found levodopa worked very similarly to dopamine during this time. By 1960, he had correlated Parkinson's disease and dopamine deficiency. That year, he published an article about dopamine deficiency connected to motor issues caused by Parkinson's disease.
Wow, that's incredible. So dopamine has a huge function in motor functions of the body then. So then, did Ole Onikovich work alone?
Not at all. George Kotsias also assisted once Onikovich found that symptoms were helped. Kotsias suggested that they begin with low dose and gradually increase it to 16 grams a day. 16 grams was a lot. However, Kotsias demonstrated that high doses were in no way dangerous. Kotsias and Onikovich found their new treatment to be incredibly effective and are thus considered pioneers of their area of treatment.
Wow, that's incredible. So those two really revolutionized how we view Parkinson's disease. So
yes.
We owe a lot to them, right?
Yes, they did. True, but we can't forget all the other contributors who made the research possible. For instance, Arvid Carlson's work. Without him, we might not know that dopamine was even a neurotransmitter, much less that it's a depletion, it's responsible for the kinetic effect. I'm sure that Kotsias and Onikovich would agree with the words of Isaac Newton. If I have not been able to see farther than others, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, that's all we have today, folks, on Medical News Weekly. We could give a giant round of applause to Pablo Sanchez, and we will be back with you with another viewership on next Thursday.